So we're going for a little ride. It's been raining all day. This is cool how this house has these rocks in the side here like this, protecting the home. I told you it was built 300 years ago. Very cool. And then if you come over here, it's so cold. That's the other B&B I was telling you about. And if you come over here, that almost looks like an outdoor shower, doesn't it? But that's a shed. That's where they just have coal. And there's this mountain right behind the house that also blocks the wind to this house. So it's very protected. Whoever built it was thinking. Very smart. Well, let's go. It's so weird going on the other side of the car. I always feel so lost. It's so cold. We're gonna light a fire in the coal stove when we get back. Warm up the cabin. They do have those radiators, but we're gonna use a coal stove for the little living room area. It heats up really nice. We noticed that they spray paint the sheep different colors. I'm not sure exactly if it means it belongs to one person, one family. So Rick said he saw a shepherd tell one sheep to round up all the other, stay on your left, all the other sheep. I've never seen or heard that before, so if I can catch it on video, I will. This is the parking, she said, but then you have to walk. Remember, she said you could open the gate and just drive up there? These also have red. I wonder if they could use government land or if this is their land or... I don't know. But they're everywhere. I've never seen so many sheep, and I've never seen so many healthy, heavy sheep and cows. They're huge. Oh, this road is very narrow, so let's be careful. So there are buses up here. I noticed the buses here are smaller because the big buses won't fit on the roads. That's the largest I've seen. What does it say? I don't know if I could read it. I don't know if it's Gaelic. Oh, we got both. Okay. Signal towers can be found all around the coast of Ireland and date from the past. I can't even read. What's it say? From the period around 1800. They were built as an early warning system to guard against invasion by France during the reign of Napoleon. Located on headlands, which has good views of the surrounding sea. They were in sight or of similar installations to allow signaling between them. The tower visible here at Carrigan Head was built around 1805. What I was just reading about. Noah just warned me that there's poop everywhere. Sheep poop. So I have to keep my eyes open. I want to make sure one of them don't run me down. They're like all over the place. The sheep poop looks like milk duds, doesn't it? So this is next to our house. I'm wondering if this was like an original house. It could have been 1,000 years old for all we know. A pure stone. Because if this is 300 years old, this is much older. Be careful. You should bring more coal in. So Rick is saying whatever structure that was, probably a very old house. Hundreds or 1,000 years old, who knows. They use that to build this structure because the inside is made with that. Yeah, I like these old cottages. I want to thank all of you in Europe who are welcoming us here to Ireland and Europe, and I just think it's so nice. I've been getting messages on YouTube, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, everywhere. So thank you so much. I tell you, the people are awesome. I want to talk a little bit about driving abroad. Now, if you've never been abroad, then you might be wondering, should you rent a car? Should you not rent a car? Well, I think it's an individual decision on if you want to or not. The thing is, and I have a lot to learn. I know that public transportation is really the best route to go as far as affordability goes. But for us, we took a taxi from the Dublin airport to our Airbnb, and that worked out really good for us because there's 4 of us with all the baggage, and we were so tired. And I'm sure you've been there before if you've done a lot of traveling. By the time I would have tried to figure out where the bus was, where exactly it was going to go, pay for all 4 of us, it was just easier to jump in that taxi. Just get me to the Airbnb so I can sleep. But we did want to travel across Ireland to Donegal County, and that's where we are right now. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to turn the camera around so I could show you here in a second. We're in the country. See, that's something you have to think about when you're traveling. Where are you going to be? Like, we were in Dublin at first. I didn't need a car. We were able to walk everywhere. So that's like another whole video, pros and cons to being in the country or the city. So being in the city, we were able to just walk downstairs and walk all over the place. We didn't need a car. But when we drove across Ireland, we could have taken the bus, but once here, we would have needed to rent a car. That's what we did. We rented the car. It is more expensive when you pick up a rental car at one location and drop it off at another location. We didn't want to drive all the way back to Dublin, even though, oh, I can't tell you where we're going. It's a surprise. But when we leave here, and that'll be next week, we will leave from Donegal Airport. And we will leave the car there, the rental car. So it did cost extra. Now, but what really cost a lot extra was the Garmin GPS, and I almost didn't get it because of the cost. It was, I don't know, I must have paid like $200 some extra or $250. Too much. I could have bought myself a Garmin. I should have brought my Garmin. That's what I should have done. I know I could use the phone, the GPS, but the problem was, thank God I got the Garmin, because the phone was not working. The GPS, the maps, the Google Maps, I don't know if it was my phone, the international plan, or if it's because I was in the middle of the country here. So I'm so happy because we did get lost a couple of times. We made it here. Thanks to our Airbnb host. She was a saint. Thank God she was available, and thank God the phone was able to work where we were. When I did try contacting her, you contact people through Airbnb, and that's how I contacted her, and she was just very helpful. And I'm like, I don't know where I am. I'm on this road. I think it's Teelan Road, and I'm looking at a river with a waterfall and a bench, and she knew where I was. So that was pretty impressive. She knew exactly where I was when I had no idea. She actually gave me the GPS coordinates to the house because there's not an actual address. I couldn't get it to work on Google Maps. So thank God that she answered the phone and was right on top of things to help me out and get here. So that's the con about renting a car in a location you don't know where you are, is that you might not know where to go, or if you get lost, it's like you have to figure it out. I'm scooting down here because it's windy out here, and I won't be able to talk to you if I go out into the wind there. But yeah, you have to just stop and ask people, and thankfully they speak English here in Ireland. I noticed all the signs are in English, and I'm assuming Gaelic. Now, we've driven in Spain and Portugal before, Rick and I, and thankfully, well, I speak Spanish and can read Spanish. My Spanish is not as good as it should be. I usually have Rick drive, but at least they drive on the right side of the road. Here they drive on the left side. So it really messes up with your brain trying to drive on the opposite side of the road, because it's like if you're right-handed when you write, it's like trying to write with your left hand, except that your life is in danger if you go on the wrong side of the road. So we have to be careful about that. I have to keep telling Rick, stay left, stay left, stay left. And sometimes you just forget, especially when you're making a turn, you're thinking to stay on your right-hand side. So you have to be able to figure out the driving rules and how it works, especially if they're driving the opposite way what you're used to. That's the con, is just trying to figure it out, but at the same time it's kind of fun. You're learning something new, so that's the pro. If you want to save some money on the rent-a-car, definitely, if you can, drop off the car where you picked it up. And I could have picked up our car in different locations around Dublin, but they didn't have the automatic. It was manual. So can you imagine Rick driving stick shift left hand, driving on the left side, when he's used to stick shifting with the right hand, driving on the right side? So we're like, no, we need that automatic. So we paid extra for automatic because the manual is much cheaper if you're looking to save money and you don't mind learning to drive. The other thing I like about having the car is that you could just pick up and go to these little spots that maybe there's not public transportation to get you there, or if it's raining, like this is middle of September here in Ireland. We're in Donegal County. It's Donegal County, in the small town of Teelin, Teelin, or you might find it under Ti and then Lynn, Lynn. I saw it both ways. I was like, maybe I should have typed Teelin the way they spell it into the GPS. I might have found it. Didn't even think of it. I noticed on my computer when I'm looking at the Google.com, it says Ireland, Google Ireland. And then on top of that, I noticed all the ads before the videos that I watch are, not all of them, but a lot of them are Irish. So Irish commercials and things like that. So that's pretty fun, something different. Back to the rental car again. The insurance, car insurance. Your car insurance most likely will not pay for an accident out of the country. So you're going to want to figure out how you're going to handle that. You could either pay the car rental place for their extra insurance, or in our case, we have World Nomads. It covers up to $35,000, I believe. And also our credit card will cover, I forget how much, up to a certain amount. Also, if there's an accident or something happens for the rental car, if I use their credit card. So those are things I've learned and I'm happy to have. Since I'm from the United States, we use gallons for gas, and here they use liters, and it's pretty expensive. Our car uses diesel, but I found that it was pretty expensive, but diesel and this particular car seemed to get us a long way. We did a lot of driving and only used a half a tank. The other thing too is that you have a choice of prepaying for the gas, which is quite a bit more per liter, so you don't have to worry about dropping up the car or getting gas or diesel before you drop off the car. You could fill up the car before you get there, which will be less expensive, and you save yourself a little bit of money. So it's up to you if you want to pay for the convenience or if you want to save some money. They also have those tours. We saw those buses up by the cliffs yesterday, and they probably fit about 15, maybe. I don't think they fit much more, but those seem to be pretty nice, and they have someone drive you around. There is a hotel in the next city, town, about 20 minutes from here. I think people stay there and then they can get a tour. So I think I'd like that, because I tell you what, I was white knuckling yesterday's journey. I didn't have my camera on me. We went to get groceries while the kids stayed behind, and I wasn't even driving, just because the roads can be quite scary. Of course, Rick had fun driving. He doesn't mind. But when you come out to places like this, you got to be on the road so you can see all that it has to offer. There's so much to see. Well, it looks like it's gonna rain a little bit. I'm sure the kids are hungry. Gotta go. I'll be talking to you soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the big welcome, everybody in Europe. Love you. Thumbs up, please share. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. And don't forget to live a passionate life.